Can you live in Vietnam below 1,000 US dollars per month? This and more in this upcoming video. Hey, what's up guys? This is Marcel with a new video. But before I start with today's topic, I want to share this news I just came across. And it says that Thailand has month to date achieved 9.5 million visitors this year. And where is Vietnam? We don't know. I think it's lagging way behind with 3.6 million visitors months to date. So I think Thailand is on a very good track to achieve their 30 million tourist target for this year. We don't know what Vietnam is doing. They're doing something, but probably, I don't know, not the right thing. In any case, what I've read just a few days ago is that the government apparently wants to approve this month's the 90-day multiple entry visa. So let's see if this is coming true or not. Anyway, back to today's topic. One of the most favorite topics of many viewers, also one of my favorite topics, is can you live in Vietnam below $1,000 per month, or what is the cost of living in Vietnam, and so forth. These kind of topics of course are very popular. I have good news for you. You can even live below $600 per month in Vietnam. Yes, it's true, and I have proven it. There is a video I made last year where I exactly run you through my numbers when I stayed in Nha Trang in southern Vietnam last year. You can find this video right here now. Check it out. There you can see what I spent on accommodation, food, transportation, and so on. It is absolutely possible to live on that kind of budget. But the most important thing to consider, and which really affects your budget, is obviously your lifestyle. Many people, especially newcomers and first-timers to Southeast Asia, they have probably a wrong perception about how things work. They think a lot of people perceive Southeast Asia as a great and cheap and affordable destination, which is absolutely true. But also you have to know that everything goes in Southeast Asia. There is no limit, yeah? When it comes to reach, so the sky, how do you say this? The sky is the limit, right? And this also applies to Southeast Asia. For those of us who lived in Hong Kong or in Singapore know what I'm talking about. But even in places like Bangkok, Jakarta, Manila, Kuala Lumpur, you can find very expensive condos, apartments. You know, there's really no ceiling to your cost. But on the other side, yes, you can live very comfortably and on a budget. Point number one. Point number two is when you are a Westerner, when you are coming from a so-called first world country like the United States, Canada, Europe, Australia or New Zealand, don't forget that you grew up in a different environment, in a way more comfortable environment with a lot of luxury, let's call it luxury, you know, a lot of convenience, a lot of comfortability. And probably without you being aware of it, you are used to these kind of things. Or in other words, you have your own standards. You developed your own standards. And when you move to Asia, then you want to have these standards. What am I talking about? I'm talking, for example, about air conditioning. Southeast Asia has a very hot and humid climate. Yeah? Without air conditioning, basically nothing is working there, especially for us foreigners, for Western people. I am coming from Germany, from Europe. There the temperatures and the climate is totally different. We have 4 seasons, as you know, similar to other countries. And I'm just accustomed to this kind of climate. Now, after spending so many years in Southeast Asia, I'm still not really accustomed to the climate. I need my air condition, and that's what you need, trust me. The local folks there, they are accustomed to the climate. A lot of them, they don't even use air conditions, they use fans. Yeah, they also fans also work very well. And the other factor, of course, is the cost, because air conditioning is expensive. Yeah, it eats a lot of electricity. And so there is really, and these are the things you do probably expect to be in place there. They are in place, but you have to pay. You can certainly rent a $100 condo per month, but then you won't have an air condition, and probably the place is not so clean, right? Another thing what we Westerners really like to get, especially in the morning, is a hot shower, right? And this is still what I need today. I need my hot shower. Yeah. These kind of things. These are just two examples, you know. Don't forget, you are entering a completely different culture, a different turf, and you have to be aware of this. I mean, if you are very wealthy and have a lot of cash to spend, then you might probably not need to worry about your budget and stuff. Then you can go ahead and just live in a $2,000 apartment in Manila, in Makati, in the business district. No problem. But for people like us, and also I could ask the question, why actually are so many people concerned about traveling on a budget? Why are so many people asking these questions? Hey, can I live with under $1,000 per month in Ho Chi Minh City, or can I live below under $800 in Hong Kong? Why are so many people asking this question? So do they have money problems? I don't know. Maybe they don't have money problems, but they are just frugal people, minimalist people like me, you know. And talking about the lifestyle is what affects your budget first and foremost, you know. Yes, of course, the food in Vietnam on the street or in Thailand on the street is cheaper, way cheaper than compared to Europe or America. Yeah, you can eat out for $1 per day. You buy some street food, or you go to the night bazaar, and you can really save a lot of money. You get tasty, freshly cooked food. But you know, this is one thing. But when you, on the other side, let's say, are a party animal, and you like to go out to clubs and discos and spend your money on a lot of alcohol and even other substances, and you enjoy the company of pretty and sexy ladies, then it can get quite costly, you know. And also, it will not help you then if you eat out every day on the street, if you then blow your money away in these expensive clubs. And I can tell you, you can lose a lot of money in these establishments, you know. I've been on the other side for many, many years. I know what I'm talking about. I lived in places like Hong Kong for 2 years, and I lived in other big Asian cities for many years, and I worked there. I earned my monthly salary, which was very, very good. You know, an expat salary is excellent because it's tax-free, and also the company pays for all your other expenses. Yeah, they paid my apartment, my accommodation, they paid the electricity, anything they paid. I had my net salary, I had the cash in my pocket, and I was easily, I say easily, able to blow it. Yeah, there were times I remember in Hong Kong when after like 2 weeks I was broke already, because I managed to spend all this money on entertainment and girls and all that stuff, you know, party. So it's absolutely possible. It doesn't matter how much you earn in these places. It's like in any other country or any other place in the world. It's not really what you earn. It's rather what you don't spend, right? So, and you can spend a lot of money very easily in Southeast Asia because the local folks there, they will make it very easy to spend the money. They want your money. They know that. They are not stupid. They perceive you as a ATM machine. You are the white guy, let's say. Yeah, you are a white Westerner. And you could also be a black Westerner, it doesn't matter, but let's stick with this typical cliche, okay? You are the white guy, you perceived as a rich man, and therefore everything is tailored towards to money transaction. It means transacting the money away from your wallet into their wallet, okay? As I said, I've experienced that, and yeah, I spent a lot of money, I wasted a lot of money, and I didn't save a penny in many years. So I know what I'm talking about. It's Southeast Asia is a big place of great temptation. I was in my early 30s or late 20s when I came to Southeast Asia. I was a single guy, and of course I was less mature than I am today. And I just learned all my lessons the hard way. You need also a certain maturity in order to, let's say, really survive that place. You know, it can be very tricky, and those guys of you who traveled Southeast Asia extensively know what I'm talking about. So I just want to tell you and share with you that I know that the lifestyle is really what can make or break it. Yeah. For example, today I don't drink, I don't go to any clubs or discos. Not because I want to save money. No, it's not like that. It's just because I changed my lifestyle completely. And I don't miss it at all. I don't smoke anymore. I used to smoke for 20 years. I gave this habit up, or should we call it better, I gave this addiction up already 7 years ago. Obviously, I save money also by not smoking, but more importantly, I take care of my health. Some people say, you know, Marcel, you just don't go out and you don't drink because you want to save money. Yeah, no, it's actually the other way around. And or maybe people think, yeah, like I was just said, you know, I want to save money. It's not like that I save money because I don't have it. It's actually the other way around. I have money because I save. Yeah. So does that make sense to you? And so it is with my lifestyle. I have money because I save. And I'm not saving because I don't have any money. Yeah. I don't go to clubs. I don't drink alcohol, and I don't miss it. So it's literally not existent in my life. So, but of course, if you are somebody who likes to party and this and that, I'm not judging you for that, but just be aware this will affect your cost, of course, and your budget. It's actually a no-brainer. But again, many people have the wrong idea. Before they come to Southeast Asia, they just think everything is cheap, and then at the end of the month they see their money flying away. Another trap is that, yes, things are cheaper in Southeast Asia, in most of the countries there, compared to Western countries. So people fall into this trap that they're comparing the prices, especially in the beginning. Yeah, they compare the local prices to their home countries. For example, yeah, you go in Bangkok, you're walking down the street, you see some street food, and I don't know, you find some fried rice for 30 baht. 30 baht would be roughly $1. And then you currency exchange in your mind quickly and then see, oh, this portion of fried rice is only $1. Or let's buy 2 portions then, you know, it's then only $2. And way back in Europe, I would pay $5, you know. Or people go to a pizza joint and see that the price of a pizza is only $8, knowing that the pizza in their home country would be maybe 16 or 20 bucks, you know. So they fall into this trap to comparing these local prices with the Western price and then say, oh, it's cheaper here, therefore I can consume more. Now this is not really smart actually if you do that. You know, you will do this in the beginning because you need to have a reference somehow. But what I suggest to you is that you forget about the the prices in your home country, and then just really get used to the local prices. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to explain. It also will take some time, of course. Yeah, but for me now, when I stay in Vietnam or in Thailand, I know what is expensive and what is not expensive. If I go to a night market and they sell a fried rice for, let's say, 30 baht, Thai baht, so roughly $1 US, then it's a good price. But if I come to a restaurant the next day where they sell a similar portion of fried rice for, let's say, 250 baht, I can tell you I would not even eat there, because that would be a rip-off. Yeah, but if you convert 250 baht into US dollar, it probably comes up to $8 US, and maybe in some joints in the US or in Europe you pay really $8 per portion of fried rice. You see, so this will be the advantage if you can just stick with the local prices and know what really is being charged, and then also to know the different joints and what joint is charging which price. And don't make the mistake to always currency exchange in your mind back to your prices in the United States or Europe or Australia or New Zealand or Canada. The same with renting prices. You know, as far as I know, there are apartments available in Miami, right, for like $2,000 US per month. And then you travel to Ho Chi Minh City, yeah, and then you find a similar style apartment for only, let's say, $600 or $700 US per month. And you say, oh, great, this is so much cheaper here in Vietnam, and I save $1,300 per month. So let's grab that $700 apartment here in Ho Chi Minh City. And yes, technically you have saved $1,300 per month, but $700 is still a lot of money in Vietnam, and it's not necessary. You can easily get a decent apartment for $400 US per month. Of course, you have to look, yeah. You have to do your research, and you have to make some connections, and you will find great places. So this is what I mean when you try to convert and compare local Vietnamese apartment prices with the ones in, let's say, way back in the US. Of course, they are way cheaper. The Vietnamese apartments are way cheaper than the American ones, but still $700 US is still a lot of money. And I don't think that the majority of Vietnamese people, that they live in these kind of condos, right? The average, I don't know what is the average salary of a Vietnamese family. The other day I read about a number of, let's say, between about 800 and 1,000 US dollars per month. This is their local salary on average. I don't know if this number is accurate. Maybe some of my viewers can correct me here. Maybe the numbers have increased already, but still today I assume for the majority of the Vietnamese people, for the normal blue-collar workers and the waitresses and waiters in the restaurants, the servers, the busboys, the cooks and the chefs, they earn a few $100s per month. But also these people are managing to survive, right? So how they do it? How do they do it? This is the question you should ask yourself. And when you walk around Vietnamese cities, you see that these people, they are not walking around in shabby clothes or things like that. No, they take care of themselves. They look clean. They look neat. So how do they do it? Yeah, this is the question you have to ask yourself if you want to really make a bargain, or you want to have an advantage by living in Southeast Asia. And the last point I want to make is that, of course, there are different cities in Vietnam. It depends also on the city. I just looked it up. Apparently, Hanoi is the most expensive city to live in Vietnam at the moment. I don't know why that is. I don't know what are the metrics of comparison here. I didn't do any further research. Do they compare the cost of living in total in Hanoi to other cities, or is it just by renting? I have no real idea. Actually, I was surprised because I thought Ho Chi Minh City / Saigon would be the most expensive city to live in, but apparently it's Hanoi. So this also affects your budget, right? I would suggest, and by the way, I found an interesting little article here. I want to read it for you. I just found it on the internet. Danang is Vietnam's third largest city and is home to a population of over 1.3 million people. It has recently been voted as the most livable city in Vietnam. And it is shockingly clean and organized, which is true, and I mentioned this in my previous video. The best part is that it has all three features people often look for: mountains, beaches, and urbanization. And yes, I have made a video about Danang. You can check it out. Also right here, it's actually a video where I compare Nha Trang versus Danang. These two cities in the southern part of Vietnam. Nha Trang is in the southern part. Danang is actually right in the middle between Saigon and Hanoi. Both cities are great, and they are cheaper than Ho Chi Minh City or Hanoi. So if you really want to or need to travel on a budget, then I suggest to you to check out Nha Trang or Danang. As a matter of fact, I am gonna travel back to Danang next month, and I checked out my previous place where I stayed last year, and they still have the same prices available for a monthly rent, which is $200. And I made a video, I think, also about this apartment. Did I make a video or not? I'm not sure. But anyway, I have a few videos up about my cost of living in Vietnam, and I suggest you check them out. I also have videos, by the way, about my cost of living in Thailand a few months ago, where I came up with a similar cost. But again, as I mentioned in these cost of living videos, I am a minimalist, okay? And I like to live the minimalist way. I get a kick out of being frugal. This is really where I get my dopamine from. You know, I don't get my dopamine from purchasing every second day new clothes. I get my dopamine from not purchasing anything. Yeah, I know that maybe sound kind of weird to many of you, but that's just how it is, and therefore I am able to live with these low numbers. Yeah. It is not that I have to stick to that budget, you know. It's not that I'm broke and that I don't have any savings, that I don't have any money, that I don't have any investments, or that I don't have any income. No, I have all of that, but I'm a minimalist by choice. It's my lifestyle, it's my philosophy, and therefore I live by a budget because I want to live, not because I need to. And it gives me even a greater joy and a sense of accomplishment if I achieve that budget or stay slightly below. This is where I get my satisfaction and my dopamine from. Yeah, I want to live by a budget, but I don't need to. But of course, it helps also my finances. You know, for those of you who really need to stick to a budget because you don't have enough savings, then yeah, of course, I suggest that you budget, create a budget, and then do your research and find out what is the and where is the most affordable place to stay. And yeah, but I don't know if that really makes sense then. If you have no money and then have to stick to a budget, because then you always feel kind of uncomfortable. And better you save first a greater amount that you don't need to really be so stingy. But again, long story short, that was my video about how can you live under 1,000 US dollars per month in Vietnam. Yes, you can. You can even live under $800. You can even live under $600 per month, as I did, if you have a reasonable lifestyle. But if you want to blow your money, you can find plenty of opportunity to do so. And I'm pretty sure you can even live under $400 in Vietnam, but I think this is not what I suggest, especially not for us Westerners, because it's not necessary. For the local people, yes, they have to probably survive with under $400 per month, because simply they don't have any higher income than that. They get $300 per month and they need to live with that amount, so they have no other choice. But we travelers, we Westerners, we still have other choices, and most of us have a US dollar income or a euro income. So with that hard currency income, you can really live like a king in these countries. And by living like a king, I don't mean that you blow your money away, throw it out of the window, or show everybody how rich you are. That's stupid. By living like a king, I mean that you can afford all these things which you maybe cannot afford in your home country. But it doesn't mean that you have to spend your expat salary on a $2,000 apartment in Bangkok. That would be stupid. I'm sorry, you just would be so stupid to do it. Why the heck you going to Bangkok then in the first place? Then you better stay in Miami or in Paris or in London or in Berlin and blow your money there. Then don't go to Southeast Asia. You want to move to Southeast Asia, have a hard currency, stable income, and this is where you can then live like a king and at the same time save a lot of money. So with that being said, I'm checking out for today. Please let me know what you think. Share your comments and questions below in the comment sections. I always look forward to read them. Many of you guys do a lot of commenting and sharing also your own experiences. This is really nice. I like it. Thank you so much for it. I also learn, and that's what makes the whole story interesting. Okay, I'm gonna see you in my next video. Take care. Bye bye.